With Grand Theft Auto 5, Rockstar hopes to re-establish GTA as the most important video game franchise in the world, to further raise the bar, the budget, the breadth of experience of these big games. It squeaks onto current-gen consoles months before they're set to be eclipsed by the next generation of machines. I had some anxiety about GTA 5, rumored to be the most expensive video game ever made, that it might be too much, too late. As it turns out, I was worrying over almost nothing. Almost. San Andreas, where all the action takes place, is stupendously large. Unlike Grand Theft Auto 4, which is set in the claustrophobic corridor of Liberty City high-rises, Grand Theft Auto 5 sprawls across a broad set of counties, mimicking Los Angeles, its suburbs, the Nevada desert, upstate California, and dozens of miles of underwater Pacific coast, each hiding behind some cheeky pseudonym. The geographic and demographic scope of the state of San Andreas fixes a number of the series' oldest and most repeated problems, namely a too tight focus on lampooning city stereotypes and a lack of interesting things to do. For the latter in particular, Grand Theft Auto 5 is the video game equivalent of an all-inclusive tour package. There's jet skiing, and off-road racing, and bank heisting, and waterboarding, tennis playing, shopping, car upgrading, weapon modifying, flight schooling, train stealing, and star touring, and that's just naming a few. The hodgepodge of locales also has allowed Rockstar to lampoon a larger swath of Americans than the cosmopolitans that typically live at the center of the Grand Theft Auto stories. It's still relentlessly cynical about the American experience, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is mercifully more lighthearted than its predecessors, and even occasionally vulnerable, thanks in large part to its broader stable of characters. Grand Theft Auto 5's inclusion of multiple protagonists for the first time in the series makes considerable headway in its struggle to sustain a narrative thread over more than 30 hours of story. The three leads share the central storyline, but also have their own handful of conflicts that, over time, weave in and out of the broader picture. It's a television-style structure, with missions playing out like episodes, and the entire game a season. Better yet, a single character no longer has to act as a narrative catch-all for the variety of mission types the game throws at the player. Appropriate missions are served to the most fitting character. Midlife crisis missions go to Michael, a 40-something reformed criminal millionaire reevaluating what it all means. Low-level crime goes to Franklin, a disenfranchised up-and-comer conflicted about what side of right and wrong he falls on. And mayhem belongs to Trevor, a sociopath who loves to kill people and, blow stuff up. A nifty visual sequence, it's reminiscent of zooming out and in on Google Maps, transports you from the location of one hero to the location of another, and this basic mechanic underpins the pillar that holds the whole thing up: heists. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the first game in the series explicitly about theft since the original 2D iterations of the 1990s. Over the course of the game, the three men are tasked with a number of increasingly insane and death-defying heists. They are a thrilling high point, and wouldn't be possible without the game's dramatically improved shooting and driving mechanics. Heists also benefit 100-fold from the aforementioned ability to switch between the three leads. In a heist, the swapping option drops the Google Maps transition sequence, so you can switch between the three protagonists from second to second seamlessly. The result is akin to film editing, with the player serving as editor, switching rapidly to the most interesting perspective for any moment. In 1 minute of a heist, I swapped between Trevor commandeering a helicopter, Franklin sniping people from a city block away, and Michael rappelling down a Los Santos skyscraper and busting through the window. Swapping so drastically improves the pace of Grand Theft Auto 5 that it's hard to imagine the series moving forward without it. Swapping even aids in basic character development, always plopping you into some mundane but suggestive moment in the character's day-to-day lives. When plopping into Franklin's world to find him checking his email, it felt like this person existed, even when he wasn't under my control. All of Grand Theft Auto V's leads are deeply unsatisfied in their own ways. They're crushed by the monotony of life or the thumb of the system. They seek adventure, money, and mayhem. Rockstar demonstrates real progression with Grand Theft Auto V's use of narrative and depiction of character, unless that character is or involves a woman. I counted roughly and generously 6 semi-important female characters in the game. Maybe a couple more if you include the occasional quest giver or a victim of theft. None are playable, all but one are shrill buzzkills, the latter has Stockholm Syndrome. Some of the game's most upsetting and out-of-place scenes involve the harassment of women. Other moments are equally egregious in subverting the game's comic winky tone, and they take Grand Theft Auto V in this disturbing, uncomfortable direction. One scenario asks the player to swap between slowly torturing one Middle Eastern man and racially profiling another.
He fits the profile. Yep, fits it all the way.
The script plays it for laughs, it's flat satire, but really it just feels nauseating. Rockstar has expanded and improved upon so much of what's special about video games as mainstream spectacles, from the playful use of characters to the refined take on world design. The developer's progress makes the aspects of the game left in cultural stasis, the poorly drawn women, the empty cynicism, the unnecessarily excessive cruelty, especially agitating. How fitting that the game arrives at the cusp of the next generation of consoles. Here is a game caught, mostly for the better, occasionally for the worse, between the present and the future. This is what a modern blockbuster looks like, and will probably continue to look like for years to come.